Djokovic went out 3-love, so he broke Fritz the first
Right
time
away.
Fritz was able to serve. He broke him right away. He won the first 2 sets, so that when Fritz won the 3rd set, it didn't really say to you, oh, he's serious in this match. And if you were looking for any sort of symbolism, Fritz double faulted on match point, I believe. Now, again, I'm going to agree with you. Fritz is a very good player. Djokovic is a great player. Don't tell me about the seedings. They are meaningless. He always beats Fritz. And again, let's repeat this. This is the 53rd time he's in the semis at a major, which is the most of anybody ever. I mean, so the question, the looming question now, and you alluded to it, is how far does he go? Can he beat Alcaraz in the semis? Well, he's 3-0 against Alcaraz on hard court. Lifetime is hard court. That's what this is. I know Alcaraz has not dropped a set, but Djokovic has personal history that he can lean on in a match like that. Going further, do I think he can beat both Alcaraz and Sinner if it comes to that back-to-back? No. And no, I don't. And it's because that he's 38. Didn't your boy Shaq, he may not have used the number 38, but he used 39. A close number when he said 38, 28, bro.
That's right.
So, yeah, I don't think he makes that double. That doesn't mean that he's not one of the greatest players anybody has ever seen.
I can't let this topic go without having you tell our dear viewers who you think is the GOAT. If it's not Joker, and I don't think you're going to put Federer or Nadal ahead of him, who you got as the GOAT?
No, I'm going all the way back to Laver because of what I saw, but I'm old enough to have seen Rod Laver, and you can come back to me and say that the competition wasn't as good, and no, it wasn't as good, and they didn't hit it as hard, and the rackets weren't the same, but in his era,
he was great.
His domination was the best. Okay,
I'm old enough for that too. Let's move to some college football squabbling, beef, we call it, in the wake of LSU's Week 1 win over Clemson. Clemson head coach Dabo Swinney graded his team as a 58 out of 100 and LSU's as a 65, adding that, quote, neither one of us was great, close quote, to which LSU coach Brian Kelly responded, quote, I thought we dominated them in the second half, so he's either a really good grader for giving himself a 58, or he's a really hard grader on us, close quote. Tony, is Kelly right? Is Dabo right? Is anybody right?
Okay, so let's just hold on a second and examine this. Dabo Swinney gave his team a 58. That's an F grade, a 58. And somehow Brian Kelly thinks he's being good to his team. Brian Kelly, and I want to get this right, I'm pretty sure at some point he said, did he see the second half?
Yeah,
did he even see it?
I like
Kelly is because Kelly is so convinced that how good LSU was in the second half. Mike, Brian Kelly is killing Dabo Swinney here. That's what he's doing. He just beat him by 7 points, and he is killing him. Dabo Swinney has won 2 national championships. Brian Kelly has won, last time I looked, 0 national championships, and he's killing this guy. I mean, what is next? A steel cage death match for these two? I want to remind people that Brian Kelly left Notre Dame to go to LSU to win a national championship. He said that specifically and said it that it would be easier to win at LSU than Notre Dame. He said it with a Southern accent. He's been there 3 full now. This is his 4th year. He has not made the playoffs. This was the first time he even won his opening game. And I will repeat, he's killing this guy. He's killing Swinney.
One of the things you should never really ever do is pay much attention or put any real stock in anything a college football coach says. Unless it's like Lou Holtz and he was being so funny. Remember when Lou Holtz was like a pre-dinner speaker like 50 years ago and Lou Holtz was funny? I mean, it make you laugh. Other than that, stop quoting college football coaches because they're going to say things that infuriate you. They say things full of agenda. This is agenda on both their parts. It's okay if all you're going to be is entertained, which is what you and I are by this to some mild degree. I'm not paying attention to their grades. I don't want them grading me or anything I'm associated with. I don't want grades posted by their institutions particularly. So I just look at this and say, you know what? Let them just keep babbling. We're going to go on to another topic shortly.
I will say this, though, and that's fine. I will say this, though. It is ridiculous to give LSU a grade of 65, which is a D grade. They just went on the road.
Yeah.
They beat your team 14-0 in the second half on the road. So you got to give them at least a C. You got to give them at least a 70 or a 75. But again, the larger story here is that Brian Kelly is specifically killing Dabo Swinney. We move now to baseball, where last night Houston pitcher Framber Valdez was apparently livid with his catcher Cesar Salazar. Yankees had the bases loaded. Salazar wanted Valdez not to pitch. Valdez ignored that and threw a pitch that Trent Grisham hit for a grand slam. And then on the second pitch to the next Yankee batter, Valdez seemed to deliberately throw a pitch his catcher was not expecting, hitting him in the chest. Valdez turned his back on the catcher without inquiry. After the game, both Valdez and Salazar insisted the cross-up was not intentional. Oh, Wilbon, what did you see?
Tony, I'm confused because I don't believe the explanations. I've played enough baseball and covered enough baseball to have some sense of the miscommunication that occasionally happens between pitcher and catcher. Even in these days when you're not putting down finger signals as they did for the first 150 years of Major League Baseball. Catchers get crossed up. Pitchers, either can't control the pitch or they change their minds or they throw something they shouldn't have thrown or the signals, either newfangled or old-fashioned, get crossed. And catchers lunge. The ball tips and goes somewhere else and it looks like a pass ball. But this was not a breaking pitch. And usually when there's some kind of cross-up like that, a breaking pitch is involved. It wasn't. The ball is straight and it hits him. But okay, what? Valdez did what? What did he do here? We see these miscommunications. I don't understand what happened is what I'm saying. And I don't believe that there's just one party here who's a bad guy. I'll take Valdez still, by the way, to open my series in these pitching poor times and pitching uncertain times where in the postseason you have bullpen days. I'll still take Valdez.
Yeah, and we're going to disagree on this one to some degree here. When I look at this, I see that Houston has a problem. A pitcher cannot dislike his catcher. A pitcher cannot throw at his catcher. In this case, Valdez is a Cy Young quality pitcher. This catcher, I was told, this was only his 14th start in the major league. So if I'm throwing somebody over the side, I'm going to throw the catcher over the side. But having said that, you can't do what that pitcher did. It's wrong. It's bad. You could have hurt the catcher. There is additional reporting that says that Valdez had a problem with a different catcher last year and that he is demonstrative when people make bad plays
is
in the
a wild
field.
card.
So maybe
no doubt.
So maybe there's a problem here. But I will say this. When I look at it, I understand that they say it wasn't intentional, Mike. When I look at it, it looks 100% intentional.
Okay.
It does to me. It looks deliberate
down
and
the
intentional.
middle shouldn't be that big a deal. And that's what it was. The pitch had no discernible break, so move your glove.
When he turned away. But when he turned away.
Then don't turn
away. He didn't even inquire.
Oh, you mean Valdez turned away.
So, yes, so we differ on that. We differ on that. Let's take a break. Coming up, the Mets appear to have a rookie phenom on the mound.